we're a tremendous deficit. Prime Minister Modi is a friend of mine. They sell a lot to us, but we don't buy from them. You know why? Because the tariff is so high.
भारत कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं।
The battle is heating up. Just months ago, the US and India looked like natural allies for the 21st century. Today, they are locked in a trade war and the gloves are off. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has responded to Donald Trump's trade blitz. He's not backing down. He said there will be no compromise, no matter the pressure.
हमारे लिए अपने किसानों का हित सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है।
Prime Minister Modi did not mention Donald Trump by name, but he did not have to. The context was clear. Less than 24 hours back, Trump stepped up his offensive against India. He doubled tariffs from 25 to 50%, meaning Indian goods exported to the US will face a 50% tariff. This was a sharp and punitive move. Trump is going after India. And look at how this started. It started as a trade discussion. Trump wanted a sweeping deal. He wanted zero tariffs and zero barriers for American products. He wanted a one-way free market for American goods. India refused. So Trump shifted the goalposts. In recent days, he introduced a new angle, India's purchase of Russian oil. Trump has linked these new tariffs to Russian oil, and he's singling India out as other nations continue to buy from Russia.
Indian officials have said that there are other countries that are buying Russian oil.
It's okay.
Like China, for instance,
It's
buys
okay.
more.
Yeah.
Why are you singling India out for these additional sanctions?
It's only been 8 hours, so let's see what happens over the next.
More secondary sanctions
you're going
very
to see a lot
soon.
more.
So this is a taste of
You're
what's
going to
to
see a
come.
lot more. You're going to see so much secondary sanctions.
Trump is yet to act on his latest threats. So far, there are no new tariffs on China or any other buyer of Russian energy, but India is in his crosshairs. The question is why? Is this just about the oil purchases? Or is it about the war in Ukraine and Trump's attempts to find leverage against Russia? Well, whatever the reason, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has drawn clear red lines today. His comments have made India's expectations and India's position quite clear. If this relationship is to be repaired, if ties are to return to normal, it won't happen with a one-sided deal, especially if it targets Indian farmers, fishermen, or livestock owners. The Indian Prime Minister named these three groups for a reason. They were at the center of India's trade negotiations with the United States. In fact, new reports have emerged. They reveal why the India-US talks broke down and what really happened at the negotiating table. India had the first mover's advantage. There were 5 rounds of trade talks. Some observers predicted a deal before the 1st of August, but then the negotiations collapsed. How did that happen? India was talking in good faith. It was prepared to offer significant concessions to the US, including reducing tariffs on industrial imports. And that would have covered around 40% of the goods that India buys from the US, 40%. Like I said, this was a significant concession. India was also prepared to lower duties on American cars and alcohol. It was open to buying more American energy as well as defense products. But just as a breakthrough appeared on the horizon, the goalposts shifted. Trump wanted more. The US started making sweeping demands. Agriculture remained a sticking point. After the 5th round of talks, most issues were resolved. But on the issue of farm imports, there was a clear gap. India refused to allow duty-free access to American agricultural products. American goods sold in India would still face a duty. That is the position that India took. It also refused access to US dairy products. Now, these sectors are politically sensitive in India. They employ millions of people, almost half of our workforce. Removing these tariffs on American goods can jeopardize Indian producers. So India refused to relent, and that became a deal breaker. Throughout this conversation, New Delhi remained flexible, especially after the US struck deals with Japan and the EU. India was looking for a similar deal, a 15% tariff rate. That's what New Delhi was eyeing. But that was a non-starter for Trump. He wanted more. And South Korea was cited as an example. They got a 15% tariff rate, but they had to commit to a $350 billion investment, plus higher energy imports from America and concessions on rice and beef. Now, just like farm products in India, rice and beef are highly sensitive and protected sectors for South Korea. Yet, Seoul relented. But India was not prepared to do so. And that is why the deal unraveled, because New Delhi could not offer what Trump wanted, and what New Delhi offered was not enough for Trump. So that's where we are right now. The deal is off, the tariffs are on. India is standing its ground. It has chosen strategic autonomy over succumbing to Trump's bullying. The breakdown of talks is a setback, not so much to India's position, but to whatever was left of America's credibility. It took years for successive US presidents to build trust with India, to reverse decades of distance. And Trump was part of that effort. But his tariff war is undoing all of it, and this time the damage may be far greater.